June 6, 1944. The Atlantic coast erupts. German officers wake up to chaos they never expected. One commander makes a call that changes everything. Another refuses to believe the reports coming in. And deep in a bunker, someone realizes they've been fooled for months. 3 decisions, 3 reactions, 1 massive turning point. But none of them saw what was really coming next. The first reports. The phone rings at 2 a.m. in a German command post. An officer answers. His face goes pale. The words coming through don't make sense at first. Ships, hundreds of them, off the coast. He thinks it's a mistake, maybe a drill. The Allies wouldn't attack here, not Normandy. Everyone knows the real invasion will come at Calais. That's what the intelligence says. That's what Berlin believes. But the reports keep coming in. Paratroopers dropping inland, explosions on the beaches, naval guns firing in the dark. The officer tries to call his superior. No answer. He tries again. Still nothing. The communication lines are cut in multiple places. By 3 a.m., coastal observers send another message. The ships aren't leaving. They're getting closer. Landing craft are being lowered into the water. Something massive is happening, and nobody in command seems to know what to do about it. The question becomes urgent. Should they wake up Hitler? The hesitation. Hitler is asleep, and everyone is terrified to wake him. This sounds strange, but it's true. The Führer went to bed late after watching a film. His staff has strict orders never disturb his sleep. Anyone who breaks this rule faces serious consequences. So the officers wait. They watch the reports pile up. They see the invasion growing by the minute. But they don't act. Field Marshal Erwin Rommel isn't even in France. He's in Germany celebrating his wife's birthday. He thinks the weather is too bad for any invasion. The forecasts showed storms. The Allies wouldn't dare cross the Channel in this. He's wrong. General Hans Speidel is left in charge. He reads the reports. He knows something big is happening. But without permission from the top, he can't move the panzer divisions. Those tanks are Germany's best hope to push the Allies back into the sea. The authorization has to come from Hitler himself. And Hitler is still sleeping. The deception works. Many German officers still believe Normandy is just a distraction. For months, the Allies ran a brilliant trick. They created fake armies, inflatable tanks, dummy planes, fake radio chatter. All of it pointed to Calais as the invasion site. German intelligence bought it completely. Even now, with Allied soldiers landing on 5 different beaches, some commanders think the real attack is still coming. They believe this is just a diversion to pull German forces away from Calais. So they hold back. They keep their strongest units in position, waiting for an invasion that will never come. One officer, General Erich Marx, celebrates his birthday that morning. When he hears about Normandy, he's skeptical. But as the hours pass, doubt creeps in. He looks at the maps. He reads the reports again. The scale is too large, too organized. Then it hits him. This isn't a diversion. This is the real thing. And they've been fooled from the start. The desperate calls. By sunrise, German officers are making frantic calls. They need reinforcements. They need the panzer tanks. They need air support. But every request gets blocked. The system is too slow, too bureaucratic. One officer tries to move his forces toward the beaches. He's told to wait for orders. Those orders take hours to arrive. Another officer watches from a bunker as Allied troops push inland. He can see them through binoculars. Thousands of soldiers, vehicles rolling off landing craft, naval ships firing massive shells. His own troops are outnumbered and overwhelmed. Some units fight hard, others surrender quickly. The defensive positions that took years to build are falling in hours. Radio messages become more desperate. We need help now. They're breaking through. We can't hold them. But help doesn't come fast enough. The Atlantic Wall, the fortress Hitler bragged about, is crumbling. And the officers on the ground realize something terrifying. They weren't ready for this. Not even close.
Rommel rushes back. Rommel gets the news around 10 a.m. His face drains of color. He cuts his trip short immediately. He speeds back toward France in his staff car. The drive takes hours. Every minute feels like a lifetime. He knows what this means. Without him there, without the panzers in position, the Allies have a window, a narrow window, to establish a foothold. And that's exactly what's happening. When Rommel finally arrives at his headquarters, the reports are worse than he imagined. The Allies control several beaches. They're moving supplies inland. Reinforcements are landing every hour. He orders counterattacks immediately. But it's too late. The panzer divisions are still too far away. Moving them now means exposing them to Allied air power. Rommel sits down. For a moment, he's silent. His staff watches him. They're waiting for the brilliant strategy, the bold move that will turn everything around. But Rommel knows the truth. The battle for the beaches is already lost. The realization spreads. By midday, more German officers understand what's happening. This isn't just a landing. It's the beginning of the end. Some officers fight on with determination. They know their duty. They organize defensive lines. They rally their troops. They make the Allies pay for every meter of ground. But others see the bigger picture. They see the overwhelming Allied force, the air superiority, the endless supplies pouring onto the beaches. One officer writes in his diary that night. He describes the feeling of watching history turn against them. He knows Germany can't win this. Not anymore. Another commander walks outside his bunker. He lights a cigarette. He stares at the horizon. Smoke rises from multiple directions. Explosions echo in the distance. He thinks about all the promises. The Atlantic Wall would hold. The Luftwaffe would control the skies. Reinforcements would arrive in time. All of it was wrong. And now they're paying the price. The question isn't if the Allies will succeed. It's how long Germany can delay the inevitable. The strategic collapse. The next few days reveal the full scope of the disaster. German officers try to organize counterattacks, but every move is met with overwhelming force. Allied planes dominate the skies. German vehicles can't move in daylight without being destroyed from above. Communication networks are shattered. Units become isolated. Orders don't reach the front lines. When they do, it's too late. One panzer division finally arrives near the beaches, but Allied naval guns tear them apart before they can attack. Ships sitting miles offshore fire shells the size of cars. The destruction is total. Officers begin to argue among themselves. Some want to retreat and regroup. Others insist on fighting where they stand. The confusion spreads down the ranks. Hitler, now awake and informed, refuses to accept reality. He orders his commanders to throw the Allies back into the sea. He demands victory. But his officers know better. They've seen the beaches. They've counted the ships. They understand what's coming. The war in the West just changed forever. The final understanding. Within a week, the truth becomes undeniable. The Allies aren't leaving. They're digging in, building ports, landing tanks, bringing in hundreds of thousands of troops. German officers watch their defensive strategy collapse. Every position they prepared, every plan they made, all of it based on stopping the invasion at the beaches. And they failed. Some officers begin quiet conversations. They talk about what comes next. They know Germany faces a two-front war now. Russia in the east, the Allies in the west. The mathematics are simple and brutal. Germany can't win. A few think about survival, about protecting their men, about minimizing the devastation that's coming. Others remain loyal to the end. They'll fight until there's nothing left to fight with. But deep down, even the most dedicated officers realize what June 6th really meant. It wasn't just a battle. It wasn't just a landing. It was the beginning of Germany's defeat, and they saw it happen in real time. The D-Day invasion changed everything in 1944. German officers' reaction revealed a military caught completely off guard. Operation Overlord succeeded because of Allied deception and German hesitation. The Normandy invasion's impact was immediate and devastating. From their perspective, World War II's turning point happened in hours, not days. This historical overview shows how one morning shattered Germany's Atlantic defense and opened the path to Berlin. The response came too late to matter.